Hey everybody, Vaughn here with the Vonster vlog, and today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about how I stopped hating myself, which is easier said than done for sure. It's been a long and somewhat treacherous road. It's been hard, guys. It's been pretty rough over the past 14 years, and I'm not saying that every single day I'm like rainbows and butterflies in love with myself, but I've learned to be a lot more forgiving and a lot more patient with myself. And what brought all of this up, this is gonna be a long story, so tuck in, guys, it's story time. I discovered hoop dance back in 2008, around the same time period that Randy and I were starting our business. I was out of high school and beginning college, and there was just a very young and new in my life, growing out and being a real life grown up for the first time was pretty exciting. But there was still all of this generous helping of self-loathing and feeling like I hadn't accomplished anything, which I mean at that point I was like pretty young, not to be like, gosh, you're a baby when you're 20, but that's pretty young, if you're lucky. And it's just there's just this whole mess of emotions, and I had these grand schemes, but I felt like I didn't deserve to do well, or maybe that I couldn't do well. Like I just didn't know. The whole world was uncertainty. And I was very lucky, and am very lucky, that I have Randy, who's always had my back and always just thought the world of me and tried to help me to see good things in myself, that I wasn't just the scum of the earth and like just trash on the street. But I discovered hoop dance, and that gave me a dance partner. Randy will dance with me a little bit, but he feels like he has two left feet, and he lets that get in the way of him like letting loose and just really getting into it. And I had belly danced and gone to like full moon drum jams and stuff when I was in Texas, and I really missed dancing, because it was a time when I could just forget about myself, forget this whole like self-consciousness, and just let loose and just be free and be happy. And my cat's gonna lick her butt in the middle of the rug throughout my entire vlog. Yeah, well, that's life. Okay, sorry, I'll stop watching the cats. But it helped me to let go of my self-consciousness and my self-criticism and my constant need of I have to be perfect and good at everything that I do immediately. And I mean, when you're new to the world, or everything is new to you. I had no experience in anything, so of course I was not going to be good at basically anything. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication and practice to improve. And anyways, I discovered hoop dance, and I ordered my first hoop from Spiral Hoops, maybe, I don't know. I'll look it up and see if I can't link it down below if I remember to. But there's a bunch of really good hoop retailers out there now. But I saw her promo video for her as a performer on YouTube back in the early days of YouTube, and it captivated me. I was in love. I was like, how just seeing these beautiful women dancing and doing these amazing things with a hula hoop was like, I want to be part of that. I want to do that too. I want that joy that is so clear on their faces and in their movements, and so I got a hoop and I started hooping. And by hooping, I mean dropping the hoop and picking it back up and having it go a few times and dropping the hoop and then picking it back up and having it go a few times and then dropping the hoop. But it didn't matter. I was having so much fun. It didn't matter that I was bad at it. It's like I didn't notice that I was bad at it. It's just, no, I didn't care. I was learning. And I had read somewhere by somebody, and it really resonated with me, that if you're not dropping your hoop, you're not learning anything. And if you're not learning anything, what's the point? I think I added that last bit, but that was the gist of it. It was between the lines kind of stuff. And I just kept going, and it helped me to let go of that self-criticism and that self-doubt and that, self-centeredness even, because I found a solace in, I'm just a speck on a planet, in a galaxy, in a universe, like, and that's liberating, because it's like, well, why not do whatever makes me happy, so long as I'm not crushing somebody else's happy, it's, why not, be a little weird. And so, it helped me kind of just loosen up just a little bit. But the reason I'm talking about this is I still really hated myself. I hated myself for the things that had happened in my life, whether or not I had control over them. Like, it was just, I despised who I was, what I had been through. Like, just everything about me was just wrong and not enough. And just, I mean, how do you logically explain self-loathing on a level of cutting and self-mutilation and suicide? And like, how do you, something was up. But it's, however we all go through our own paths, the way I found my way, or how I found my way out of that downward spiral and that mindset and that vicious cycle of just, no light at the end of the tunnel, is I started to hating myself more than I actually hated myself. I was like, it had clicked with me. I was like, my least favorite part about me is hating being me. Like, and it helped a lot that Randy cares about me very much. And I love him. I love him. He's my best friend. How can I hate who my best friend loves? Like, it's like, and so I could start to see it from his perspective and stuff. But that was the first critical step, was hating myself more than actually hating myself, because then I was motivated to, I don't want to be this way anymore. I want to be happy. And if at least tolerating myself is the first couple of steps to getting there, then yeah, I'm gonna do that. I didn't know how. And that's something that Randy helped me with. He forced me to, he was, because I was talking shit about myself again, just complaining and berating myself, like, for, I don't know, maybe I didn't get a high enough grade on a test or something. It was very, in hindsight, very trivial and inconsequential, but hindsight and all that. He stood me in front of the mirror, and he stood with me, and he was holding my hand, and he was like, say something nice about yourself. And I was like, no, that's stupid. I was being a little shit. And he was like, say something nice about yourself. And I was just looking at myself and just seeing, hatred is such a lens to see someone through, especially when it's yourself. Because it just mirrored back. And it's really hard to not be a mirror to your mirror, and then it just, it's like infinite mirrors lined up of just amplifying and concentrating this just toxicity. And so I had said, I was like, I have very straight teeth. Really lucky for my dad's side, I've got straight teeth up top. And Randy was like, you can do better than that. And I was like, I guess I like my smile. Because he had said something that made me laugh, and, I smiled, and I was like, I guess I like my smile. Like, I like how I feel when I'm smiling. And then the tears came. Like, it was just, it was that one thing. Suddenly, instead of the mirror reflections, it just stopped. And I was able to actually see myself just as the person that I was, who just wanted to be happy. He just wanted to break from this constant me, you know. It was like being suffocated, and then finally pulling the pillow off, and like, and then the next day he made me say 2 nice things to myself in the mirror. And then the day after that, he actually bumped me just straight up to 10. Like, he did not baby-step me on this, but I wish that everybody could have in their life a friend, a partner, a lover, or whatever, you know, a sibling, just somebody who is as wonderful to them as Brandy has been to me. But I've also learned that I have to be that person to myself, because that's a lot to put on Randy. You know, he's not responsible for my happiness and for my mental well-being. You know, he feels responsible, but I'm like, this is not your job. You're my partner in my life, not my keeper, not my babysitter, not my therapist, you know. Even though he's basically filled all of those roles at one point or another, so we have to be there for ourselves. We have to build that inner strength and make ourselves do that step. So I'm gonna ask of you guys, if you have it in you, if you want, say something nice to yourself. Just one thing, more if you like. And you don't even have to be looking in the mirror. You know, if that's too much for you, it's just say something nice to yourself. Speak kindly, you know, as though you were a friend talking to a friend. Because those were the first steps that helped me pull myself up out of, you know, everything, and, you know, kind of get up out of it. But what made me think of that is with hoop dance, you know, muscle memory plays a big role in a lot of dance for me, you know, and as I'm rediscovering these movements, because it's been ages since I've, you know, really, you know, gotten to dance, I'm also experiencing the associated memories mentally with, you know, kind of what was up. Like, you know, I've gone back and I've started playing through my old playlist from 2008, because I still have my playlist from 2008, you know. Hashtag hoarding. But, and just being able to remember where I was at mentally back then. Like, I had rummaged through and found one of my old journals and read the journal entry, and I'm just like, God, how did I live like that? You know, with that constant, it was like having somebody constantly just down talking or berating, or, you know, in the kind of the back of my head, the back of my mind all the time. And I was like, I'm really glad I shut her up. And that's, we're all gonna walk our own paths in different ways, but I did want to share with you guys what has worked for me, more or less. And again, I'm not saying that every day is perfect, because I still have a lot of days where I'll catch myself, hey, don't scratch your claws on the road, back in those old thought patterns, those old mindsets. But it's something I've constantly had to practice, speaking more kindly to myself and being just as patient with myself as I would with, you know, somebody that I cared about. So we have to start treating ourselves like we care about ourselves, because it makes it easier on the people who do care about us whenever we care about us. You know, oh gosh, the cat's gonna break everything. That's okay. Everything's fine. This is fine. Room in flames. Speaking of room in flames, this is serious stuff over. Now we're just on to silly stuff. This is my new temple room, and I'm very excited to share it with you guys, because it is because of you guys that I am able to have this space. Gosh, I would try to list all the folks who have sent me beautiful pieces of art, and, you know, Jacinta sent me these curtain fairy lights. Yvette sent me, you know, the triquetra. Just there's so much, you know, Jim, Allison, Zombie, Natalie. Like, I mean, I can't name all of you, just because I'm really bad at names, first off. And second off, there's so many of you who have been so generous to help me bring manifest in the physical realm the temple room that has been in my mind all of these years, that I've probably spent the past 10 years building up the kind of concept behind, and it's really nice to be able to come and be in a room that I feel like is made out of y'all's friendship and camaraderie and, dare say, love. And so just thank you guys so much for being there for me, because it definitely makes the days when it's darker, it makes it a lot easier to pull myself back up out of it, to know that y'all have my back, and thank you guys for that. So, but yeah, I just want to talk to y'all a bit about how to stop hating yourself so much, maybe, or at least how I stopped hating myself so much, maybe. But yeah, and also I hope that maybe there's been hula hooping over here. If I added in future Vaughn, please edit. Come on, you can do this. We got this, girl. But I'll let you guys go, and I will see y'all in my next video. And on Instagram, I am at Vonster Vlog on Instagram, and I try to post daily over there about all the different, like, food and cat pictures and hoop dance and exercising, and just basically, I don't know, it's a visual journal that I keep, but I don't know, I'm having fun keeping up with y'all in comments over there and stuff. So until next time, guys, be kind to yourself. Bye.